Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dr. Sharma Show. I'm your host, Dr. Sharma. I am a functional nephrologist and metabolic health expert, and I here bring you every week something new insights into medical society, and we talk about important issues in health. Today we have a very special guest, Dr. Larisa Sharipova. She's a trailblazing holistic health practitioner. She's also a bioenergetic specialist and women's lifestyle doctor who is dedicated to empowering women to reclaim their health, balance their lives, and thrive naturally. With a profound background as a trained medical doctor and OB/GYN, Larisa combines her extensive medical expertise with holistic healing practices to deliver transformational health solutions. As a partner at Harmonic Alignment Collaborative, Dr. Sharipova specializes in natural hormone balancing and epigenetics and stress management. She also specializes in detoxification and anti-aging. She is also the Amazon best-selling author of Listen to Your Body and Regain Your Health, and a sought-after public speaker who inspires women globally to prioritize their well-being. So I'm gonna have her come and join me here, and we are gonna talk about hormone health in women. Who's joining us here shortly. Hi, Dr. Sharipova. How are you?
Good. Hi, you. Nice to see you. Nice to be here.
Same here. Same here. I'm glad that we are connecting today because last time our Instagram did not work and we couldn't finish our interview. So I'm really grateful for your time today, and I'm hoping that our audience will find a lot of insight and from your expertise and from your background. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been trained as OB/GYN back in Europe many years ago. When I came to America, I wanted to continue being a physician here, but when I learned about American medical system, I decided to take a different approach and went to holistic health. So now I do lifestyle and nutrition, specializing in women's health. So it's holistic approach to women's health. So
Wonderful.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your services. And and as doctors are realizing that our system is broken in America, the healthcare system is there are a lot of loopholes, there are a lot of gaps, and not in the care, but I think what we are lacking is the basics of health. We emphasize here in United States, more on pharmaceuticals, giving prescriptions out for the diseases, and managing the symptoms. And as we have practiced in the healthcare system, and more doctors are realizing that, this gap is creating a bigger dissatisfaction as a physician for us, and people are, trying to look for more answers and get more satisfied with this noble profession, like really helping the patients from the root cause medicine approach. And that also lead me into investigating more into functional cause disease management and looking at the root cause and not just the symptom management. So I think it is very important, and what you're doing is great. So, we have this topic of hormonal health in women. And we know that as we approach perimenopausal, menopausal age, there are a lot of changes happening in women's body, and we go through a lot of hormonal changes. Can you talk more about these hormonal changes, how they are affecting women?
Throughout women's life, we have three main stages related to hormones and where hormones disbalances can happen. First, it's a puberty, right, when the hormones rise and is in the peak. And the second is a reproductive age when we are the most fertile and hormones most stable. And the last stage is when hormones become declining, when we're done with our fertility and we don't need that many hormones and hormones become diminished. And all three stages are important and all three of them can have some hormonal disbalances. I had problem during reproductive age and I had infertility. So when I use holistic approach to work on my hormonal disbalance, and when I fix my hormones through holistic approach, I had 2 kids. And now, because I deal with that during my reproductive age, now I don't have any menopausal symptoms when I go through my menopause. So it's important all stages of our life. But of course, more and more women now are interested in menopause symptoms, and they can start a long time before we get to the menopause, like premenopause. So if there ever been disbalance of hormones in the early part of our life, make sure that you do everything possible before you get to menopause to not experience those symptoms. So what can we experience and what's the earliest signs of even in perimenopause that we are getting hormone imbalance? A lot of women, even after 35, start complaining about their low energy, mood swings, irritability, anxiety. All of those symptoms are hormonal imbalance. Also, maybe weight gain, specifically around middle of the body, maybe low libido, and irregular cycles or even heavy periods. So all those symptoms, sometimes on and off, sometimes all of them, sometimes just few of them can show up while before we get into menopause. And it's just like hormones speaking softly before they scream. So take care of them when they just whispering to you. And when we address those hormonal imbalances earlier, then we can have smooth transition in the menopause.
Yeah, that is very well said. So the key is here to act early and prevent those symptoms to occur even before, you are entering into that stage of life. So, do you think that chronic stress biologically impact the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which we know as HPA axis, which controls all the hormones in the body? And what are the downstream effects on the hormonal balance in those cases?
Of course, I think all diseases start with stress, right? But I divide stress, it's not only emotional stress, I divide stress in 3 different buckets. Emotional, that stress that we mostly associate like relationships and adverse childhood experiences and any like everyday something that we need to deal with emotionally. But also there is a physical stressors. For example, if we over exercise or under exercise, it's all physical stress for our body. Or if we have a poor posture, which is also physical stress. So if we had a surgery or we had scars, so this is all physical stresses for our body that our body needs to deal with. And another type of stressors or group, I would say environmental stressors that our body has to deal every day, like electromagnetic field and glyphosate, the toxins from the food, and our air and water. So there is a lot of environmental stresses and the plastic that's specifically affecting our hormonal mimicking chemicals that we get exposed every day. So all of those stressors, and most of them, the combination that we get every day to expose every day. So this has become very stressful for the body. And when we stress, our body responds to this hormones. Cortisol is stress hormones in adrenals. in adrenals and adrenaline, right? But it's all stimulated by our central nervous system, hypothalamus and pituitary, and that's what stimulates the adrenals to produce cortisols. If our body in a chronic stress response due to all those stressors, it means that our system is always activated. And because our body is so smart, it always has positive and negative loop. At some point, our body cannot stand anymore high cortisol in the body and start down-regulate the system. So cortisol can go down and shut down. And first stage, when cortisol is high, also body can take priority, right? Because cortisol as well as reproductive hormones, they're all made from the same substrate, which is cholesterol, right? So and our body needs to take a choice. Are we producing cortisol because we're in a stress mode, or we producing reproductive hormones? So if you're always in a stress response, then we diminish production of reproductive hormones. And that's on the top of the menopausal time when our function of reproductive hormones even lower. So we're depleting our reproductive hormones, estrogen and progesterone, because we need a cortisol for the body to deal with the stress. So this is one down regulation happen and priority that our body takes. And if cortisol is always high, it's also increase sugar in the body, and dysregulation and insulin resistance happen after that. Also, it's affect our thyroid glands because it's down-regulated. So there is a cascade of different events happening if we live in a chronic condition, chronic stress. So, and our body can shut down all the HPA axis or harmonic pituitary adrenal axis. And we need adrenals in menopause because when our ovaries diminish production of reproductive hormones, adrenals take that function. So we need to keep our adrenals healthy and deal with chronic stress and reduce as many stressors as possible.
Yeah, that is very profound. And I can see how, the average American is dealing with this chronic stress because we are on auto mode all the time and we are, in a chronic stress mode, but we don't realize that. And our lifestyle today is in that mode, and how it is affecting the reproductive age group in women here. And there are so many women who are suffering from hormonal changes because of the chronic stress. And there are simple things they can do about it, which I also emphasize in my practice about activating your parasympathetic system. So in your view, what are some daily habits or actionable tools you can give to our audience to start balancing their hormone naturally, especially for perimenopausal age group women?
It's very important that it's all ages of our life, or all stages of our life is important. You can use the same recommendation even when you are preteen, right? When you just start getting your hormones, because now we have so much stress, even with our younger generations who cannot deal with that and create hormonal and neurological problem, mental problem as well. So specifically, getting prepared for menopause in your perimenopause years, it's very important to nourish your body with specific intentions, like what food, because food, it's not only biochemistry, it's not only that energy gives to burn sugar or burn food to our energy, but also it's information. And the more diverse food you eat, the better. Of course, it's also for our microbiome. We eat not only for our energy, right? We not only eat for our calories, but it's also for our microbiome, because a lot of hormonal metabolites, hormones metabolize in the colon as well. So we need to keep our colon microbiome healthy, and it's called estrobolome. So we need to eliminate estrogen metabolites through the colon and through the liver. So keep those organs healthy. So fermented food, fibers are very important. Also, whole and organic food, the best, because of the also energy of the food is important. So if you eat live food, you get live energy, right? If you eat processed food, that you get that energy. That's how you feel after eating that. So, and it's very important also to get good fat, because as I said, hormones are made from cholesterol, so we need good fat like avocados and seeds, and of course protein, because we're made of protein. Everything we need in the body to make is come from the protein, from amino acids that come from protein. So proteins, fibers, good fats are very important during any stage of woman's life, and specifically perimenopause. Also, if we decide to do fasting, for example, it's one of the good anti-aging tools, and improve our hormone balance and decrease inflammation. We need to know what time of the cycle we are in to implement. So make sure that you sync with your cycle, not only with fasting, but also with exercises, because it's important before your periods, if you're still menstruating, to take a break and have a more gentle for your body, more gentle approach. Sleep priority is very necessary, because from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. that's where the time for hormonal reset. And we know it's important sleep for our brain function, for neurological system, and to heal the body through the night. And detoxification also happen at night. Specifically for hormones, it's from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's being in sleep mode. So that's priority. And I would say sleep is even more priority than exercising and eating, I would say. So that's how important it is. And detoxification is very important, because if liver does not detoxify those metabolites, they accumulated in the body and can create inflammations and estrogenic dominance and even cancers. So detox from environmental toxins, also detox from EMF, and take maybe dopamine detox, like get away from the devices and have some relaxations, and using breath work as relaxation technique, meditations, also walk in nature. I'm very advocating go to nature for a walk, maybe hug the tree to get some grounding and some electrons in the body. And also track your cycles. If you notice that there's something is abnormal happening, so it's mean that maybe you can look into your hormones, even testing. So that's important.
Yeah, that's very powerful, because these are the simple steps which we can take, and we all know about it, how important sleep is, how important food is, nutrition is, but we are not actually applying those principles in our lives because of all the auto mode and the rush we have in our lives. We don't. Sometimes it's good to take a break and just be mindful, and that's what I'm teaching my elementary school kids as well, because they are, I noticed lately they are reading books on the dining table while eating. So I have to tell them that be present with your food, taste, see the food, smell the food, and it will improve your digestive system, your digestive enzymes, and everything starts from there. So thank you for sharing that insight. You talk about some processed energy and natural energy. And I know that you are also doing some bioenergetic healing. Can you talk more about what exactly is bioenergetic healing, and how does it work compared to traditional medicine?
Mm-hmm. I try to explain that we are energy from coming from like medical kind of system. So we know in the body we have different systems, musculoskeletal system, cardiovascular system, and all those systems have organs and tissues. So all those organs and tissues made from cells, and cells made from molecules, molecules made from atoms, and atoms made from electrons, protons. So eventually we are all energy, because protons, electrons, that's the energy units, right? And we can measure electrons and protons in the body by frequency. That's a frequency. So we have now devices and technology that can measure what's energy in our body, in each organs and system in the body. We know about energy system like a meridian system and chakra system. So it's all energy based system, and each organ in the body has its own frequencies. So now we can measure and see where a disbalance can happening. So like flow of energy can be disturbed by those toxins that we have around. So electromagnetic field create kind of chaotic energy in the body. So we can use different tools to measure energy where it's stagnation happen or disbalance happen. And the same tools can clear the stagnation or create flow of energy in the body, and also deliver the frequencies of different organs and systems so to the body. And bioenergetic, it's mean we measuring energy, and we also providing information to correct that disbalanced energy in the living organism. So energy in living organisms, that's what bioenergetic means, and it's a part of quantum biology. And quantum biology is that energy in a biological system. So and we can use different, now there is even wearables, right? You can, like I wear one of the watch that deliver energy through red light therapy to my body to correct different things. So we can measure and we can correct with bioenergetics. So, and it's not either or, it can support our traditional care, because most of the traditional medicine treats biochemistry in the body mostly, right? So but what runs biochemistry? It's energy that's underneath of it, and energy is the language of body used before symptoms arise. I believe that a disruption of energy happens first that can lead to biochemical disbalances, and after that it's become physical manifestation of chronic diseases. So if we correct energetically, it might never become a manifestation of certain things. So there is a lot of now research and tools that we can use.
Do you have any personal story to share with our audience about this bioenergetic technique you used in any of your patients?
So I use, it's a software or like a system that I can scan body of like my client, or I can use myself. So, and it shows where does this balance happen, and even emotional connection to the body part. We know that emotions stuck in different part of the body, and different emotions can be in a different part. For example, liver, I know it's related to anger. So, or grief is related to lungs. So if we have liver problem, maybe it's a physical manifestation of the anger as an energy, emotional energy, because emotions is energy in motion, and they stuck in our body in different organs. So the system can show, sometimes I scan myself like every 2 weeks, for example. I scan my body and see what's going on energetic level, and it shows up what energy I have emotionally, also where I don't receive enough energy. Like we know that it's from the sun, from the oxygen, and sometimes you go outside and see the sun, right? You walk all the time, but the scan shows that you don't deliver that to your cells. So you need to use different techniques. Also, if the meridian system is a disbalance, it also shows up. And after that, it gives you recommendations, what you can do, like lifestyle. And also there is a different frequencies that I can deliver to my body. And for example, recently I had Lyme disease activations, right? And I scan my body. Sometimes it's not what you exactly have, but it's like layers of the onion. You have to clear one energy, that's one, another one shows up. So I use bioenergetic device to clear the energy, also use on the body energetically to like for my inflammation in my joints, for example, for the Lyme, and also the emotional. So it's all holistic approach, and using the technology now that can detect and also correct. And I have a lot of clients who have like problem, even hormonals, because hormones, when sometimes somebody come to me, we don't know pinpoint where the root cause, right? Scan to go in one area or another. It shows also environmental effect on my energy, so I can, if it shows that I have, my body is resistant or to mold, I can go and do research, or I do more testing on that area. Or like it's so vast, and has a lot of information that I can use and go deeper in certain areas. So that's very beneficial for me as a
Thank you
practitioner.
for sharing that. Yeah. I think I interviewed a couple of other practitioners who are using bioenergetic healing in their practices and seeing wonderful results. So thank you. That was very powerful. So are there any biomarkers or diagnostic tools that can help assess these energetic imbalances? You spoke about some of the tools you are using, but is there any widespread, like is that a machine which you're using, or any specific brand you recommend to use, or people can detect that at home by scanning themselves? Is there any way of doing that?
So I work and I'm licensed for the company Energy for Life, and anybody interested, they can open a free account, and they can do their own scan, even through voice. So we started using a device that you can put hands on the scanner, but now technology is so improved that people can even scan at homes to speak into microphone, because
Oh,
our
wow.
project the energy what's happening in the body. So now it's like anybody in the world can come and scan themselves. And actually now we run the group program where people are able to scan every month. And we work with them personally, and we have educations and a lot of tools for them. So if anybody interested, you can join our harmonic alignment membership group, so where you're able to scan every day. Or you can come to our website, and we have a free discovery sessions, and also sign up for a free account where there's a lot of information there. And other techniques besides Energy for Life and what I do, there is wearable device, like we know that HRV, like even Oura Ring, right, or other wearable devices can give us some information, because heart rate variability shows our neurological system health, or our resiliency on a neurological on nervous system level. Also, maybe a Dutch test. It's one of the other tools that we can assess our hormones, or specifically metabolites. Hair tissue mineral analysis that can show our chronic stress and adrenal functions, and some blood tests, because blood test is just at one point in this specific time, right? So we can have like all kind of tools to assess hormonal biomarkers. So it's not only blood, but there is other different techniques and tools that we can use.
Yeah, in traditional medicine, we heavily rely on biochemistry, blood testing, but they are so important to know that there are other areas of human body, emotional, spiritual, environmental, your genes, everything is going to affect your health. And now people like practitioners like me and you are heading towards precision medicine, where we are doing some genetic testing, some more biomarker analysis for the early detection and prevention of the diseases. So that is very powerful. How can someone with the perimenopausal or menopause symptoms can manage their symptoms without relying solely on medications? What are the natural remedies you can share with us?
Mm-hmm. And I believe that, and I talk about it, adrenals health is the most important because that's heavy work now taken from the ovaries, right? So if we can improve health of adrenal glands, that would be the most beneficial. And of course, whole body health is important. We know that mitochondria is energy centers, right? We need to improve our mitochondria. It means that we need to exercise. Also, I like to do change of temperature. So like I go to sauna and go to cold shower after that. It's increased mitochondria production. So that's important in the overall health, not necessary to hormonal, but hormonal as well. Because we need mitochondria for, it's in every organ in the body except blood cells. So we need to improve our mitochondria function, and it will eventually improve our neurological system and hormonal system. Also, to make sure that our gut health is up, like, because as I mentioned, we need good microbiome to eliminate hormonal metabolites, the liver health. I always recommend to do detoxification in any class that I see with hormonal disbalance. Maybe in the beginning, maybe in the middle of working with me, depends of the what's going on right now with the person. But detoxification is definitely, because we need to detoxify all the pollutions and environmental stuff and metabolites and the liver function improvement. So that's very important. Also, maybe some adaptogens for adrenals like ashwagandha, rhodiola, or maca. I would recommend. I use it as a superfood. I don't take them as a supplements in a pill form, but I put in my smoothie. So I take like a superfood concoctions like every day. So you can make a tea, put in a smoothie or yogurt or somewhere like a powder. And I mentioned about stress, right? We need to learn how to deal with stress, like a breath work, a grounding, also meditations, like being a part of everyday life of women. And bioenergetic, as I said, biofeedback devices maybe. So menopause is not a disease, it is a rite of passage, and the smoother we go through that, the better. So make your preparations much before when you get to menopause, and it will be much better for overall health.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So as we are approaching menopause, I'm already dreading all the symptoms. I'm hoping to align my body with the nature and to actually apply all those principles which we discussed, which we all know, into my life so that, it is a smooth transition. So thank you for all your insight. How can our audience reach you?
They can reach me and schedule a free discovery session on our website, harmonicalignment.co, not com, harmonicalignment.co, and I have a discovery session that they can apply. And we have a podcast, Harmonic Alignment Podcast, where we discuss all energy related and combining Western and Eastern medicine. So there is another way to touch with us and listen our healthy tips and speakers and as well. So There's
That's wonderful. I'll share those in our show notes. So thank you so much for your time today. I really enjoyed our session together, and I hope to see you again very soon.
Thank you. It was
Take
nice.
care. Good night. Bye
Good night.
bye.